Okay, I am assuming that OBS is not screwing me over here, and we are actually streaming live. Now, this is just a short video, not related to my game project, Peace Island. It's something that I've wanted to just talk about in recent days, ever since the game became a little bit popular. It seems I'm getting skipping back in the background. But anyway, I don't want to get distracted. This is just a short video about, I think that Iron Lung has been presented too much as a post-apocalyptic tale. Because it is presented always as the most bleak of futures, and that always bothered me ever since I saw the the menu screen for Iron Lung. Now, understand, I want to open it with this is a video that I'm making really quick here. Is not a criticism of Iron Lung as a game or as David Szymanski as a game developer. Understand, as a game developer and as a gamer, I have nothing but respect for Szymanski, and I think that Iron Lung as a gaming experience is a very, very good package. From everything from the set as an indie dev project, it's superlative. So I just want to get that out of the way. This is more of a actually sort of moment for me, because again, this has bothered me since I've seen the menu screen for Iron Lung, and I did a Reddit post about this that's far more in depth about a year ago. I will try and find that again and put it in the description below. Now, I do not, and by the way, I also want to say that I understand that Iron Lung is his own David Szymanski's own story, and we have this suspension of disbelief, but there's a greater sort of Christian mythos to what he's doing with the game, and that's cool. But again, this is again me actually, and you can criticize me all you want for that. But hey, I think by the end of this video, if you could put up with it all the way through, you'll realize I have a point. Now, we'll have to look first at the premise of the Quiet Rapture. Now, if you're not aware, in the video game and in the film, the Quiet Rapture was an event in which humans and most stars and planets disappeared. Now, here's one thing that is explicitly not mentioned, so we have to assume it's true, but their equipment did not disappear. Now, understand, in the course of this video game's history, there was a heck of a lot of human activity going on prior to the Quiet Rapture. So, yes, at the beginning of the game, I mean, I believe in the wiki about the game, there are about 738 people left alive. But yes, understand, you have to understand again, the actually here is that you only need a gene pool of, I believe, about I think about 15 to 19 people in order to sustain a stable genome into the far, far future. And also, hold on for one moment. Yes, the humans are gone. A lot of the humans are gone, but those 700 and some odd people left have access to all the equipment left behind. If I had my video going, you'd see me doing the quotation marks, because etc. The Christian sci-fi series. Anyway, now understand. So we understand at this point that the state of humanity is that they have two factions that are actively warring against each other and occupy, I think, about 4 space stations, or maybe 3. I forget exactly. So they have the ability to sustain themselves in self-contained environments in this very hostile new universe where, all the stars have gone out. Now, but they are definitely in that situation. I would go, my goodness, this is really awful. But understand, we have to understand a couple things about their mentality. Number one, they have not given up, because the very fact that they are, number one, warring against each other indicates that that one of them believes that they have a path to supremacy and thus development in the future. And the other aspect of it is that, excuse me, I don't talk often, so I'm going to be out loud often. I'm usually sitting here just anyway. So I'm going to be sipping from my sippy cup a bit. But okay. So and also um, one of the things that is indicative of humanity's just attitude toward their future within the context of this premise is that they are sending the condemned down in these one-off submarines into the blood ocean. They would not do that if they had given up. So understand, we are now in a universe where the remnants of humanity, yes, they are not even decimated. They are down to, a very, very small number, but they have access to the equipment that probably well over 1 billion people in space used to use. Now, and they have the initiative to use that equipment. Now, next we have to take into account what we see, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over this here, the Iron Lung OST. Actually, we're going to go back to the original video here because this. Oh, look at this! It's for some reason. Okay. Iron Lung menu screen. There are two things that are very, very important in this menu screen. All right. I'm going to bring this over into a new tab. Zoom in on this sucker here. Oh, here it is. Yeah, great. Oh. Let's just zoom back here. Okay. We see two things here. Even though the stars are all dead, their light is still appearing in the sky, which is odd, but well, it's physical. It is physics, so that's true. So you still have a small amount, a tiny fraction of light coming in from the surrounding space, but still light. And number two, and the most important thing, let's go back to this video because you'll see it in just the first second of this video. You saw, in fact, I'm just going to go back and you see the ocean, the blood ocean is moving. Now, if you're not into elementary physics, motion equals energy. And the volume and size of these various blood motions that is mentioned throughout the, in the wiki that we know, they're titanic. They're very large. Now, we can assume as a result that understand if you're not aware, there are people in sub-Saharan Africa that were able to build electricity, generating windmills just from what they learned from books in very primitive conditions. Understand the humans in this scenario. I think out of those 738 people and all the equipment that they have, and also the wiki, but they probably brought Wikipedia into the space with them, they would be able to build a primitive generator to be able to generate electricity from the tidal ocean. And because those moons, by definition, they're moons, they are orbiting around things, that tidal motion will always be there. So that motion, and thus the power they can derive from it, is eternal and infinite. So, take into that we know from the both the movie and the game, I have not seen the movie, but I've seen enough of the reviews about it, that there has been confirmed that there is an internal biome of aquatic life inside these blood oceans, which means, considering this aquatic life lives within an ocean of blood that is human blood, one would assume that these aquatic creatures would be edible by us. So we have food. We have now infinite energy, food, and the most important part is the blood. Now, I would argue that instead of sending down these one-off submarines, and we see the size of the submarine, that submarine if they basically plunked a shelter about twice that size that would be able to fit two people, that was hooked up to their tidal motion machine, and they would be able to use a centrifuge, which of course they would be able to get from the equipment left behind. They would uh, be able to extract through that centrifuge the basic commodity, the basic components of the blood oceans. Now, let's take a really, and again, I wrote about this a year ago on Reddit. Yeah, I'm on Reddit. Judge me all you want. Okay, plasma, blood plasma. Of course, you would get that out of the centrifuge. 90% water. Uh, Through distillation, you would be able to get drinkable water. Through electrolysis, which again you would be able to create through the equipment left behind by those guys, by the humans that were taken away or squashed, as the theory goes, you would be able to essentially create hydrogen and oxygen, which humans could live on indefinitely. So here's what we got. We got two people inside of a shelter, a power source, an infinite source of energy that provides an infinite place where they can get infinite amounts of drinking water and breathable air. All right? Now, let's add into that the fact that these people obviously will have spacesuits. They will be able to exit, and I guarantee you they will be either able to harvest or create dust from the regolith of the moon. Now, taking into account that maybe these moons are the same as Earth's moon, let's just take that as a baseline. Let's move on. Now, of course, outside of with the blood plasma, you would be able to dry and hydrolyze proteins into an amino acid slurry. You'd be able to etc. Ferment using engineered microbes, and also create protein biomass like yeast. And also, if you're not aware, everywhere humans go, we bring yeast with us. We just do. We would be able to, we'd be, if you do not know, we're disgusting creatures. We would literally be able to brew beer off of the yeast that we scrape off of our skin. It's the way we are. So, if the regolith contains phosphates, potassium, and trace metals, it has the basis of hydroponic agriculture infinitely, practical for all practical purposes. So now, again, at this point, I think you have that two-person shelter that has infinite power, is set up a converter into water and breathable air, and you could probably at that point maybe expand, the shelter down, and in the process excavate a regolith out of the moon's surface. And so I think at that point you'd have about 4 people, or you'd maybe use that space underground because it would be free of the interrupting radiation from whatever's coming else from the stars up there to create your hydroponic garden. Because at that point, you would have access to infinite iron and iron oxide ash. Tool-grade iron, magnetic material, structural fasteners, wire cores. All of these things are buildable with what you would be able to create, be able to derive with, again, just an industrial grade centrifuge from the blood on the blood moons. Now, let's continue. Okay, let's say they don't all want to live underground. Plasma proteins can be turned into hardened films, protein plastics, and composite bricks. So really, now you have the ability to expand downwards and outwards infinitely with infinite power, infinite breathable air, infinite hydroponics, infinite food. And again, fertility and agriculture, we've already pretty much covered that. If you want to expand outwards, again, algae, bioreactors, fungal proteins, mats, again, there are so many things that we just take around on us as human beings. Now, the one thing that the person on Reddit brought, jeez, I forget. It goes on and on. Fuel production, medical and biological uses, chemicals, all of these things can be derived just from the same amount of effort that it took them to send that one man sub down into the blood ocean. Now, again, The person on Reddit made a very Reddit-like observation, and their objection was, uh, "What's the point of going on?" Um, Again, the two human factions are fighting against each other, and the consolidation of Iron is sending out down one man subs to figure out if they can figure out any way that they can continue their survival on one of these blood moons. And maybe they know all this information that I just laid out. Now, I think I've made my point, and I don't want to be old and grandpa and ramble on and on, considering, again, I am still monitoring my own project's rebuild. But I just really wanted to get this out because every time I see anything about Iron Lung, they always present it as the most darkest of dark futures. I actually think out of all, I mean, as far as dark futures goes, yeah, pretty dark. But I think again, when you figure again, they as far as they know, I think they said again 4 blood oceans on a number of moons, and that is only after cursory explanation examination. Um, they would be able to expand this into literally a civilization that would be able to exist indefinitely. Um, and yes, it would be kind of gross. The processing would be gross at first, but if the alternative is dying, humans would go for it. But again, David Szymanski, if I had my camera on, you'd see me saluting you, and I'm among your fans. I just say that again, you know, um, this isn't the most dark future that humanity could ever face. Anyway, take care, guys. Sorry for rambling on and stumbling over my words, but I think I made my point. Take care. And again, hey, if you haven't played Iron Lung, please do. Go and watch the movie if that's your thing. The only reason I don't want to see it is because it has Microplier in it. But hey, I'm gonna go and find that Reddit article so I can put it down in the in not in the comments, but in the video description. Take care, everybody, and I got to get back to work on my game.